Well, this week we've been talking about how God is merciful and gracious, and today I'm going to share with you a parable that Jesus tells from the Gospel of Luke, which is perhaps the best known story of mercy from the Bible, especially to people who aren't a part of the church. It occurs in Luke chapter 10, beginning at verse 25, and it's the parable of the Good Samaritan. Just then, a lawyer stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he said, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" He said to him, "What is written in the law? What do you read there?" He answered, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." And he said to him, "You have given the right answer. Do this, and you will live." But wanting to justify himself, he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Jesus replied, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell into the hands of robbers, who stripped him, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a priest was going down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. So likewise a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, while traveling, came near him, and when he saw him, he was moved with pity. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, having poured oil and wine on them. Then he put him on his own animal, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii and said to the innkeeper, "Take care of him, and when I come back, I will repay you whatever more you spend." Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers? He said, "The one who showed him mercy." Jesus said to him, "Go and do likewise." This is truly one of the greatest stories in the Bible, and I could talk to you about it for an hour, but I won't. But a couple important things here is, first note that the lawyer wants to know, what must I do to inherit eternal life? And Jesus, as he often does, answers a question with questions. What is written in the law? What do you read there? You're a lawyer after all. That means you know the scriptures. And he's able to answer correctly, as many Christians are able to answer questions correctly about what the scriptures say. Well, you're supposed to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind, the verse we have in the lobby of our building, and your neighbor as yourself. And Jesus says, do this and you will live. It's not about knowing that this is the right answer that leads to life. It's in the doing of the law, of loving God and loving our neighbor, that we live. And then, of course, he wants to justify himself. He wants to limit, well, who do I have to really be merciful to? Who do I really have to love? I hope it's not everybody. And then Jesus tells this famous story, and of course, the 2 religious Jewish people, of course, and this lawyer and Jesus were both Jewish, they pass by the man, they don't do anything to help him. It's the Samaritan, the unexpected person, who sees him and is moved with pity. And he is personally invested. He puts the oil and wine on his wounds to cleanse them and to heal them. He puts him on his own animal. He spends his own money. He takes his own time. And when Jesus says, who's neighbor to this person, this lawyer can't even get the word Samaritan out of his mouth. He says, the one who showed him mercy. And Jesus says, go and do likewise. How about you? How about me? How are you doing mercy and loving your neighbors? If you want to find life, go and do as the Samaritan did.